Hi, my name is Jada Peterson, and today I'm talking about one of my favorite topics from our sensation and perception class, which is color perception. It's something we experience constantly, but when you break it down, it's actually way more complicated than just looking and seeing colors. There's actual science behind it. So, why I chose this topic? I chose this topic because I've always noticed how colors look different depending on lighting and background, but I never really understood why. So once we learned about it in class, it honestly blew my mind and amazed me of how much the brain is involved. It combines biology, psychology, and even art, which makes it very interesting for me. So you may be asking, what is color perception? Color perception is the process where eyes detect different wavelengths of lights, and then our brain interprets those wavelengths as color. What's cool is that color isn't actually in the objects around us, it's created by our visual system. That means perception plays a huge role in what we think we're seeing. So here's what happens behind the scenes. First, light hits the retina, where cone cells respond to different wavelengths, short, medium, and long. Then the brain processes those signals through something called the opponent process system, like red versus green and blue versus yellow channels. And finally, our brain sees context like shadows, brightness, and surrounding colors to decide the color we think we see. So, a really great example is the checker shadow illusion, where two squares that are literally the same shade look completely different because one appears to be in a shadow. And of course, everyone remembers the dress from 2015 that caused such an uproar because some people saw it as white and gold, others saw it as blue and black, which me personally, I saw it as blue and black. And this happens because our brain is guessing what the lighting should be, and that changes the colors we perceive. So, what do you see? White and gold or blue or black? So, why it matters. Color perception plays a big role in how we interact with the world. In art and design, understanding how people perceive colors helps create mood, balance, and meaning in visual works. In advertising, for an example, certain color combinations are used to grab attention or create emotional reactions. Beyond art, color perception also impacts safety and communication. So, for example, stop signs, warning lights, and traffic signals all rely on consistent color recognition. If someone perceives color differently, that could affect how they respond in critical situations. So, for someone who might see something differently, it's also important for understanding color blindness and accessibility. Not everyone sees colors the same way, so designers and educators have to consider how visuals appear to people with color vision deficiencies. Finally, color perception research connects to technology, like virtual reality, photography, and display screens. Engineers use this knowledge to make digital colors look more realistic and consistent under different lighting conditions. So, what did I learn? This chapter really changed how I notice the world and actually make me think. Like when I see a color, I'm like, is it really that color or is my mind playing tricks on me? I catch myself looking at how lighting affects colors in stores, outside, and even on my own clothes. It reminded me that what we see isn't always reality. It's what our brain interprets. And that made this one of my favorite topics in the whole class. Thank you for watching.